to it anymore. Oh, there we go, team. All right, coming up for we have an awesome group today. Is this your first time down here? Awesome. Can you introduce yourself? My name is Kiera. Nice. Welcome. We have a little intimate first time little crowd here, so we're excited to have you. You're at the Fit Lab, so Elise, do you want to like kind of come up closer? So
yeah, I can. I just want to make sure we can take this with you.
All right. So we're really excited. Everybody that's joining us online. There's actually a lot of people that are going to be watching this live. So this is okay. That's perfect.
Does that work?
Perfect,
and
yes.
then I'll just hold over here.
We're very close. Watch your make sure
Here.
You're at the Fit Lab, right? Inside of what we do here in these four walls, I like to call it a space for empowerment, love, and transformation. We do it through nutrition, fitness, and empowerment. 80% nutrition, 20% fitness, and 100% mindset. All right, so we get people healthy holistically. And right now, for this next 45 minutes, we're going to be talking about mindset, really raising our level of consciousness, raising our vibration, so we can basically elevate each other, so we can go out in the world and elevate everyone else that we meet today in the world. So that's our intention. How we share inside of the space is every single week we have a topic. So our first topic was consistency, then it was discipline, and this was passion. So we're going to be having a topic, and we're just going to be sharing. The conversation kind of goes as share on top of share on top of share on top of share, and we just create this awesome dialogue, this awesome conversation for 45 minutes. So our only request is that if you have a question online or if you have something to share, is that you just share from a space of this is what happened, this was the lesson, not necessarily like play in the victim mode of like, oh, this is happening to me, help me, save me. This is a place to uplift, inspire, and empower each other. So what's the positive in every share that you do, that you have? Cool? Mm-hmm. Awesome. So I'm really excited about our topic this week. It is passion and purpose and mission. I woke up this morning and you know, Amanda had texted me last night. She's like, what's the topic? And I was like, passion, for sure, purpose, mission. And I had a 2-hour conversation with this guy yesterday. Thomas, if you're watching this, I loved our conversation yesterday. He is an ex-NFL football player, and he retired 2 years ago. He created this this brand now. He's basically a motivational speaker, and he goes around to different colleges and schools, military bases, and wherever he can, and really bridges the gap between where people are and where they can be. So essentially, he calls it he helps people find their identity. And, you know, I actually went through that. I was like, wow, like, this conversation just started rolling because, like, I was an ex-athlete. I played volleyball at Penn State UCLA, and my identity was, like, a volleyball player, right? And because I had already started thinking about, okay, I'm going to be retired. I'm not going to do volleyball the rest of my life. What am I going to do? Who am I going to be? Who am I going to become? I was already in that conversation in my senior year, but so many people, when they lose that identity, they don't know who they are. They don't know their purpose. They don't know their mission. They don't know their passion. They don't know their identity. They don't know why they're here. So he starts that conversation earlier so people aren't lost in the gaps. And so crazy after our conversation how many people I had that conversation. I had a girl that I mentored since middle school in here last night. She's graduating from college, and she was just like, Laura, no idea who I am. Like, my whole life I've been a volleyball player. I'm not going pro. Like, who am I? Like, do I go into corporate America? What do I do? Like, what's my purpose? What's my mission? What's my passion? You know, and I'm like, well, I'm so excited that I get to be a mentor, you know, for you to find out what that is. So I thought that story was the perfect bridge to what is your passion? What is your purpose? What is your mission? You know, and I've really come to, and he asked me this question, and I haven't answered it yet, which was, in 30 words or less, who are you? In 30 words or less, who are you? Why are you here? What's your mission? And I was like, dang, you're gonna throw that on me at lunch? I don't know. I was like, I had to think about this one. I'm gonna write you exactly 30 words. Who am I? Like, I'm gonna do that this week. So I told him I would get back to him, but I thought that was a cool question. You know, in 30 words or less, you know, who are you? What are you passionate about? What's your purpose? What's your mission? Why are you here? Why are you? And it's a deep question, and I know it can be, you know, kind of confronting for some people if you don't know, which is great. It's perfect. We get to explore that. Maybe, okay, well, what led me to this path? Why am I sitting in this space right now? Because you're here for a reason. everything happens for a reason, and it's like, why am I here? What am I excited about? What am I passionate about? What are my gifts? What are my talents? How have I served people? How have I given back to the world? What do I love to do? Because we always, you guys always hear the quote, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I find that so true. Like, I don't feel like I work. Like, I literally woke up and I'm like, oh, we're talking about passion today, and then I'm going to personal development seminar, and then I'm just talking to people about what I do. Like, this is what I do. It's crazy. And it's the best life ever, and it's because I'm passionate. I've found what I'm passionate about doing. I'm passionate about helping other people find their purpose. I'm passionate about helping other people understand that they're great, understand that they can become anything that they want, whatever that be. And I have a vehicle to help people support them in finding that. So that's what I'm passionate about. That's how I'm going to just basically roll out and open up the topic in the middle circle today. So does anybody, we actually have a literal circle today. This is kind of cool. Does anybody want to open up and share? Yes,
yeah, I have a experience from this morning. So I went to the gym early this morning, and who I speak to every time I go to the gym at 6 a.m. He works at the front desk, and then he gets off around 6 a.m. whenever, or 6:30, and he starts working out. So today, we always say hi, whatever. We started talking, and I was time he goes to work. He was going to work at 11 p.m. And I was like, so are you going to go home and go to bed for the rest of the day? And he was like, oh, for like 3 hours and I have another job. And I was like, dang. He was like, actually, I have 3 jobs. And I was like, whoa, what are you, like, what? What are these jobs? And they were like, not passion jobs. I mean, the dude's working, but I was like, okay, but why? Why all that work? Like, what did he was like, well, I have goals and dreams. I said, awesome. What are they? He said, well, I got my own place. I said, okay. What are they? Like, you still haven't in it yet. And he's like, well, I moved here from New York. He was like, I used to, sing on Broadway. I said, awesome. Is that your passion? He was like, I said, so what are you passionate about? He was like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, awesome. Let me have your number. I said, this is a good conversation. I was like, because I've been in that boat. Like, I was super passionate about theater. It was all I ever wanted to do. Loved it. And then I was like, no more. And I didn't know what my passion was for years, and I just felt so adrift. I had no idea until I met Laura and started to do Herbalife. And then even recently, I've kind of gotten a little in the grungies and lost my passion. But then last night, returning past the products, past of what we consider Herbalife to be, and returning to our passion. Just I don't think I would have ever been able to be in the space to continue to ask that guy, all right, but no, 3 jobs, but what? 3 jobs, but what else? 3 jobs, but what else? You sleep 6 hours a day in little segments, but what else? I would have never been able to push him without hearing Brian talk last night about passion. So, yeah, that was good.
Does anybody else want to share on that? Hi, Megs. Hi, I'm excited you're here today. For those of you guys that don't know Brian's story specifically on the line, because I know that there's a lot of people that haven't met Brian. Brian's my business partner. He actually runs this space with me, and he is super passionate about health and fitness. He was an ex-model, actor, super broke. When he found the company, he got in amazing shape. He was 9% body fat. He went down to 7.4, then he went down to 5% body fat. And he really just realized that his passion was to help people, and when he realized he could help people and retire his mom doing so, that's what drove him his passion for 2 years, and he was able to retire his mom in 2 years. Now we have this amazing space, and we're able to pay that dream forward. So just to give you a little context on why Sarah woke up and had that fire to talk to someone.
It's impressive to think that somebody, works 17, 18 hours a day, and they don't know why. That's hard work. Imagine once this dude finds out why, whoo, he's going to blow the roof off the world. He's working 18, 19 hours a day, and he doesn't know why. Once he figures out why, there will be no stopping him. Yeah. That's what's crazy.
I think that's why people can't find their passion, is because, especially you said you can't be working here, you just work constantly. That's all you do, and then you just get on pattern, you just work, and you don't even think. You don't even think why you're there, what you're doing, and you just wake up day after day. And then I don't know how it happens. I guess it happens to something happens to you, or you meet people like us, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. This is who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do. And I feel bad. Some people never get that, and so people continue on and never find their passion. So thankfully we are finding it, but yeah, I want to help people.
And that's really what you say is so important because that's why we're here. And it's so selfish for us, people that are living inside of purpose and passion, to not invite someone down, right? It's actually selfish to not share a gift, which is actually just being alive. You know, we're not just living, like we're alive, we're not just alive, we're living. Like we're actually living on, and to not share that. In contrary, I actually had a conversation with a guy that worked in front desk at Equinox, and I said, you know, how often do you work here? Like, what's, like, I was just like talking to him, right? And he said, you know, I work 3 jobs. I'm leaving here at 3, and then I'm going to do parking valet company. And I'm like, why? Like, why are you doing all this? Like, what's your goal? Like, what's your dream? Like, why are you working? Like, what do you want to create? And he said he wants to create his own music film company. And I was like, oh, that's dope. I'm like, how long have you had that dream? And he's like, since I was little. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I'm so excited that you're working hard for something and that you know, like, what you're going for. I would love to have you down and have an inspiring conversation with you, like, just to keep that passion going, to keep it going, because maybe you don't necessarily have to work 3 jobs to get that passion, to get your dream. Maybe it could be one thing on the side. So, but it is our purpose to share that with other people. Like, if we don't, like, what a disservice to the planet to not go out and say, hey, I'm living on with passion and purpose, but wow, your life sucks. You know? Like, seriously, like, we're alive and we get to share that. And it's really, this Thomas and I were talking about this yesterday, on the highest level, like when we have kids, like, we get to really, really shape our kids' life forever, but we can actually infiltrate not only parents to shift the lives of their kids out in the community, but school systems. And, like, really, 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 like, if we actually start to really do work on passion and entrepreneurship and what are you here for and why are you living and what's your purpose, little kids can literally, kindergarten, that's why I love Montessori schools so much, and be directed toward their gifts at a young age versus being like, here's a history book, read this, here's math problems, do this, here's this, do this, learn this to do what in life, to do a 9-to-5 job. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we could really shift the consciousness of people to be better parents, of little kids to know what they can, to know that they can do whatever they want, and then go into school systems and shift school systems, like, we have a really big opportunity outside of these walls, and it's so easy for us to just live excited by ourselves. But what if that's really not actually living on purpose? Because we got to pay it forward. No, you really want to share?
Yeah, no, just to back up what you were sharing and then what you were going to say, that's what I was going to say. I was like, oh my God, we have the opportunity to be those people. Because you're right, a lot of times, well, that's not. It's like all chest. Okay, so, you know, a lot of times it is a, like, life event that will shift someone, you know, whether it's a near-death experience or losing a friend or, like, whatever someone has as a life experience will shift them, or, like you said, someone coming into their life. So we get to be those people not only to share what's available, but I love, like, Sarah challenging this guy. Like, we actually get to be the person to challenge someone else and ask them the questions that nobody else is going to ask them. Yes, I can say, Ashlyn, hey, come hang out. We have this cool place. You're going to learn something. Or right there in the moment, you can actually make a difference and ask the questions. Why are you doing this? What is your goal? What have you been dreaming about since you were a child? Because people in their life don't ask them those things. And you might catch them off guard. Some people might be like, whoa, like, that's a lot. But it's only because it's confronting. And I promise you, whatever the moment happens, whether they get really excited or they get emotional or they're like, whoa, why are you asking me? They will leave that conversation and go home and reignite something from the past, something that they're passionate about, something that they've forgotten about. To kind of shift gears a little bit, in our coaches pre-meeting yesterday, I gave this out as like a task or a challenge for the week. You know, when we're kids, so much more carefree, and whether it was like you love to color or you love to ride your bike, or, you know, I use the example of like going to a pottery class. Like, I don't know what it is that you're passionate about. Writing poetry was something that I used to do growing up as well. So it's like this week, with passion as our topic, do something like that. Go buy some coloring books, invite a girlfriend over, and color. Like, you know, like, get excited about something that you used to do, because when we're in a space of passion, it evokes creativity, it evokes our dreams, and it evokes something inside of us that says there's something more. And so I know I'm excited. Laura and I have already made plans to go take a dance class together, and it's like, we're just going to go play and have fun. You know, it's not about like, oh, I'm going to go train, I'm going to do this. It's like, no, let's just go play. I don't know if it's going to happen this week or next week, but I'm going to go to Venice and go rent a bike for the day. You know, as we change and transform, and one of my spiritual like healers in my life, Lila Pearsall, she's amazing. She was talking to me the last session that I did with her about as we grow up and as we take our path, whatever it is, even if it's something that we're passionate about, there's pieces of our little girls and little boys that still need to be loved on. You know, so for me, it was like my 7-year-old and my 13-year-old is like what we discovered for me. And it's like my 7-year-old, I love. She was like, you have to remind that 7-year-old self that that piece of you is still there. Because when you forget about it or ignore it, those are the voices that come in and tell you you can't do something today. They're like pieces of our ego, but a lot of times it's just because we're forgetting about the things that we love and we enjoy. So I know I love this topic a lot. And, you know, I mean, I'm totally go there. It's cool. Sorry, you know, whoever's on the line. But passion also comes into your love life.
Yeah.
You know, like bringing passion to whoever you're with, or being in a state of passion to be open to allow that person to come in. It goes both ways, whether you're with someone or whether you're not with someone. But you got to be in a state of like being open to be passionate in that sense, in the sexuality sense, to allow someone to come in. Or for me, it's like remembering to surrender and to have that passion with my husband. So that was a lot of different things that came up. But
it's interesting that this is the topic because last week I got really connected with why I love, in particular, the wood workout. And I stayed with Ashton and Ruben that night, and as I was leaving early in the morning to go to the workout, I was in my sweats, my old soccer sweats, and my soccer like sweatshirt that I wear all the time without thinking about it. And in your like lobby, there's a mirror, right? And so I'm walking out the lobby, and I have my backpack on, and I'm ready to go to Wood, and I'm like, I see myself in the mirror with my old school ponytail on, and I'm like, whoa, that's weird. This is my whole life. This is what I did my entire life. Like, why haven't I done this in forever, you know? And that day when I went, Manuel's kids had brought their soccer ball. And I was like, wow, crazy, right? So we played around and kicked the ball forever, and that just sparked something in me. So before the next workout, I woke up earlier and went to the store and got a soccer ball. Like, why have I not played soccer in that long? It doesn't make sense. All I knew my entire life was playing soccer. Like, why have I not? You know what I mean? It's like you get so focused. Sometimes we are that person. You know what I mean? And even with this, like, we're not doing necessarily the 9-to-5 grind that maybe we've done in the past. We get to come here, and this is our grind, but we still get to find outside of that what we knew our whole lives. We didn't grow up like wanting to be or what, you know? So every single day since that day, I've had my soccer ball, and I've made it a point to get out, even if it's for 5 minutes, and juggle or pass with the wall, or you know what I mean, like whatever it is. And it's just like ignited something in me. Like it's creating. It's being creative. It's being in a creative space. So allowing myself to go in and feel that little kid again. Like I felt that my whole life, and feeling that again just opens up creativity. I'm not thinking about, you know what I mean? We think about life in general as like it's so simple. Why do we make it so hard? It's really not that hard, you know? Like what makes you feel good? What makes you excited? What makes you get connected to like what felt good growing up? So I'm really excited that this is our topic, so we can continue so I can continue exploring, but it's changing a lot.
It's so dope, and I'll make a comment on that. Like, life is, what you said really made a big impact. I think life is so simple. Why do we make it so hard? All we have to do is be happy. That's how I heard it. I don't know exactly what you said, but there's these underground tapes that Amanda and Joe gave me from.
So amazing.
They're so amazing.
Great
From it's basically like the secret society, right? And all these multi-millionaire billionaires that, you hear all these motivational speakers, right? That honestly, at the end of the day, they're making a good living, but the billionaires of the world are in a secret society. They're not out in public speaking, right? So they made these tapes. I'm listening to them, and I'm like, this shit is so awesome. Like, it's so simple, right? What the basic undertone, at least what I got, and you can share your experience with the tapes, is be happy, period. When you're not in a state of vibration, happiness, flow, abundance, you're not creating, period. It's like they talk about, okay, so I have this like $1 million idea. It's really awesome. I'm in my basement. I'm creating. I'm building Facebook, right? But then like I have an energy block. Boom, go ride my bike. Boom, energy block. Go to Barcelona. Boom, energy block. Go dive in the ocean. Boom, energy block. They don't allow themselves not to operate at a high frequency. We talked to Garen Jones, an amazing leader in our company. All he talks about is be happy, period. Be in a high state of vibration. Be excited. Live from a space of passion and purpose. And how do you stay there is the second you feel the dip, it's a shift. But so many of us like the low because that's what that's how we've lived in fear. Like when fear creeps in, we're used to it. We're like, oh, I'm going to let it sit here, and I'm going to just sit, and I'm going to sleep in more, and I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to do this. Like, we let it happen because it's natural for us, right? It's not natural to stay in a high and get higher and get higher and get higher. Why? Because people in society judge it. Because it's the 10%, it's the 5%, it's the 1%. Why does 1% of the world have all the money? It's not that hard to figure out. They're living in a different space. They're not living in our same conversation. Right? And they don't really care what people think about their conversation. They don't care because they've figured it out. Like, it's a secret society for a reason. And it's, you think differently, period. It's like, be happy, be awesome, be on a different vibration. Stay there. Like, it sounds like a trip, but that's like literally what the whole emphasis is, and how often we're like, oh, I just don't feel good, and like that is the opposite of a billionaire philosophy. Like the exact opposite. Yeah.
There's a payoff in that slump.
Yes.
As part of my transformation, I've learned like there's always a payoff in whatever you do. We do it for whatever payoff you're getting. But in that slump, there's a payoff of being right. There's a payoff of people are going to ask you what's wrong, so you're getting that attention. Like, oh, let me help you, like, there's a payoff. So for that, like, because the going higher, higher, higher isn't in the norm, it's like learning that payoff is actually so much more rewarding. But because we don't, maybe in the past, haven't known about what that payoff looks like.
It's unknown.
It's unknown.
Unknown territory.
So that slump payoff, it's like, we know it, but that's like, oh, try it so you can learn what it is. Are you vibrating like crazy right now?
Yeah.
It hurts me. She's gonna explode.
I just want the CDs Laura was talking about, I've listened to like 8 times. And there was a lot. There's like 12 CDs.
Yeah.
But
What is it called again?
Super secret underground CD.
I don't know, but Joe and I can email them to you.
Is it? Yeah, your wish is your command. It's like 12 CDs.
Yeah.
You said it's what now?
Your wish is your
Your
command.
wish is
Your
your
wish is your
command.
command. And it just talks about what you wants you, and you just really have to, like you said, be happy. Like always, find happiness in having breakfast, find happiness in driving your car, and there's not any reckless drivers on the street. Whatever it is, like literally find every reason in your day to be happy. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah. So, so it also says, like, for example, if you are in a bad mood and you go and do invites, you're doing nothing for yourself. You're actually hurting yourself.
Please, I felt that all last week. I was like, this is such a
It's
waste
like,
of my time right now.
honestly, and it really hit me because I was going to auditions and I was going to dance class and I was miserable, and it said that I was actually hurting myself by going. Like, all of these books that, like, we're talking about, they have, like, really valuable information, but some of it is not always right. Like, we have to, like, keep looking because these people aren't, I mean, there's just other ways to do it. So they talk about, like, let's say for us, like, our volume is down or we haven't gotten our invites. Like, go to a carnival, go to a dance class for you, like, not for me. Go ride a bike, like, go do something. Like, they talked about a lawyer was losing, like, $1 billion case, right? And instead of going into the office, he went on vacation. And everybody was like, you know, the population and was like, what are you doing? Like, like his bosses, and he was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm going to go vibrate at a high level and know that that's going to attract a high level thing. And then it also says, like, so what you're saying is you can literally sit at home and meditate and bring your dream to you. And he was like, yeah, but you're not going to want to. Like, when you sit home and you meditate on that, and you put your energy, like, concentrate your energy on that outcome, you're going to get so stoked on life that you're going to want to run out. And that's when, like, the energy comes. But all in all, you can attract your life just with energy. And it's vibrating at a higher level. But you're not going to want it. Like, I've realized I just found my purpose. And Joe's like, why are you going to school so much? Like, why do they make you go to school? I'm like, they're not making me. Like, I'm getting extra hours. Like, I want to learn this stuff. I'm so excited about it because I found my purpose. And it's wild. And the minute that I start feeling it, I go do something ridiculous. They also talk about, or I think Tony, I've been listening to Tony Robbins now, and he talks about when you get into a negative mindset, say something completely different. Weird and wacky, and interrupt yourself. Like he said, like, if you're starting to get down on yourself, say, oh my God, my feet don't stink. And totally, like, and I did it, and I was driving here, and I was like, hallelujah, my feet don't stink. I was like, wow, really did shift my thinking. And it really, like, it does. You just have to, like, say something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely ridiculous.
I know you've been wanting to share this whole time.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, going back to the slump is addictive, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's addictive to be in that space. If you start to grow, it's kind of like, wait, who do I have to be? There's got to be something. Okay, this guy to cut me out. Now this guy to cut, like, it's like a cycle that you can get into.
Well, I always bring it back to free love. You know, whenever you're on your path we're all on a path to love and enlightenment, right? If we choose to be. And fear will always creep in when you're vibrating at that space. But, like, the lawyer that chooses not to go to the office and have, let's say, a million haters on social media because he went to Fiji, like, that's fear creeping in. But he said, no, I choose love. No, I choose to vibrate on the high level. Like, but the hardest piece is choosing love always. That's the hardest piece. And it's so, like, there's such a strong payoff for however old you are. Like, I'm 27. For 27 years, like, my payoff is being right. Like, my payoff is, okay, if I do this, like, then it's like whatever your payoff is on, like, listening to that old conversation, like, there is a payoff. And we have to have faith and trust and know that the light side is brighter. And that's the thing, it's unknown territory. And so many people don't go to the territory, so there's not, like, a walked path that's like, it's better here, trust it, go. You know, you hear people that, like, have an out-of-body or an experience where they, like, get in a car accident and then they, like, actually go to heaven and come back. And they're like, oh, there's nothing to fear. Like, there's nothing, like, I'm living on purpose, I'm in the light because there's nothing to fear. Like, death isn't scary, like, it's just we're going, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to just know that and trust and have faith and be connected on the highest level that this path is brighter, that we are connected on this path, that we're taken care of on this path. And when we are on purpose and passion and mission connected to something greater than ourselves, connected to our purpose, our creator, and we are taken care of over here. But the second you let this side come in, it becomes a cycle. You know, it does become a cycle. So that is why 10%, 5%, 1% of the world you see on this pedestal. Not really a pedestal, because we actually all have that light inside of us. They just chose to open it and believe it and follow it and trust it and have faith in it. That's it. And abundance flows from that light. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is nothing. Money is paper. But inside of the light, the creator, whoever it is, spirit, the universe is going to give you abundance because you're in the light to give it back how it can serve the world. It's a cyclical flow. Money is a cyclical flow. Oh, you're in light. You're on purpose. You're in passion. Here's $1 billion so you can, give back to charities that we need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it actually will flow to you in the sense that the higher your light, the more abundance flows to you. That's what I truly believe. And so many people think, oh, money is evil, and have this conversation with people with money. And no, like, money just makes you more of who you are. Money just enhances your purpose. Gives you more access to do what you want to do with your purpose. This conversation is awesome.
When I think about passion, the first thing that came up for me was sometimes it takes like a life event, like a death, a marriage, a divorce, or something in your life to like shift so you can know what you're here for. For me, my brother was killed in a car accident a year before I moved to LA. And I was like, what? Like, you just never expect someone, your sibling, to die. Like, everyone dies, but when someone close to you dies, it shifts. Something in you shifts, and you're like, wow, like, what am I here for? Mm-hmm. So I moved to LA, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to be a model, I'm going to do this. But I still felt empty inside. I knew I wanted something else for my life, but I felt empty. And so I was doing that for a little bit, and then I found Herbalife. And acting and modeling was all about me. Ooh, I booked this job. Ooh, I'm on this magazine. Ooh, I got this commercial. But I didn't feel fulfillment. And so finding this community and finding Herbalife, like helping people lose weight, having clients in Texas and Tennessee, they lost 20 pounds, they got new high school jeans. Like, when you figure out that it's about helping people, your life, whatever it is, if it's helping people through Herbalife or whatever it is, it just shifts, and then you get this fire, and you get this passion. And so that's why I'm so grateful for this community and you guys, because now I see that my life is about helping people, becoming a better version of myself, and then just sharing that with everyone. So I love you guys.
It reminds me too of how last night Brian said that that this business will teach you to love people. And we just think that that's such a simple concept, We love ourselves, we love people, I don't know, just something that we always are thinking, okay, that's fine, that's easy. It's like super hard to love people. It's really, I don't even, maybe to me, where we are now in the society, it feels even more disconnected. And even with the social media and the technology, and there's so many ways to just stay away. And so it's been a huge life lesson to like learn how to love people. And if by me learning how to love, one of my clients, it allows space for them to learn how to love themselves, and then for them to love somebody else, and then that other person to love themselves, and it's just like a big chain. It's just like amazing.
Just feeding off of that, I feel like in my opinion, like our whole mission, whatever it looks like break it down, it's just to love. Yeah. Like that's it.
And love God.
Right. Like those are the two greatest commandments in the Bible: to love God and to love people like they were yours, like you, right? But for me personally, I think hearing from you indirectly, like that for me has been an inside job. Like really learning to love me. Mm-hmm. And that, like, I can love all of you guys and be cool with all of you guys, but then go home and be like, not like what's inside, you know what I mean? So like this journey for me with the passion, like finding the passion into this one and all that stuff has been a journey of loving myself. And when I'm in that place, then I can go love you and go love my client and go love.
From any space outside of that, my Instagram is Love Yourself 247 for a reason, and I like really, really, really think about it all the time. Like, had this conversation over Christmas around the fireplace with my family, and I really feel like, you know, the one thing my dad talked about this last week is taught me love, man. Like, God, like, really, our purpose here is to love, period. No, it's a, you know, and loving yourself until you do that, because loving yourself is loving your creator. Loving yourself is loving your mission, your purpose, your passion. Like, loving you isn't just loving you. It's loving the why you're here, like how you got here. Like, love, like the when you were in your, actually you were in your grandma's belly. What do you think about it? Talk to us, right?
That's wild.
Yeah, grandma, your mom's in your grandma's belly, right? And you're an egg in your tummy. As your mom is in the embryo, like your mom is a baby in your grandma's belly, like you're already an egg in there, right? So the creator already had you ready. Trippy.
Wild, right?
Trippy. Lineages are like really like real, and like when loving yourself is being in connection. That's what it's having faith. It's letting go. It's surrendering to me, like authentically me, like my eyeballs, my heart, my lungs, my everything, my passion, my purpose, my blood, my everything. And from that space, I can love Donnie because I love me, and like I see Donnie as like one. Like we're totally one. Like you have different hair, you have different skin, but we're one. Like we're absolutely one. And when I didn't like, and loving myself is a daily journey. So I talk about it all the time. It's a daily, like if I don't fill up my cup, then it's an inauthentic path of loving you, because I get mad. Like whenever I feel fear or frustration or any feeling other than joy, I know the first thing now I say to myself is love yourself. Because in the past, I used to not know to go there. Like I used to go somewhere else. I used to go, okay, like, is it me? Is it them? Like, what do they need to work on? Like, what's going on? And the first thing I say now, and it's so helpful, is love yourself. Like, it's a small little thing that happened yesterday. It's like the tiniest thing. Like, but I sent a message to Val and Brian, and they know this. I meet with you guys at 5. Like, I really need to go over, you know, Diamond Academy with you guys, or whatever. And I couldn't meet, and I was like, doing this all by myself, like no idea, like what I do, like you have no, like I had this like overwhelming sense of like the opposite of joy, like I'm doing all of this and like just need a 5, seriously, you know. And I was like, all I said was love yourself, and it was the shift of if I was truly full right now, and if I was truly doing this like from a full authentic space, like I don't need them to be there at 5, like I don't. Like I'm good. I'm like taken care of. Like I have faith. Like I got people behind me. I'm good. And so I just went to the gym and did yoga. And I left and I was like, la, la, la. Like I was like, I don't really need to meet a 5. Like we're good. We're gonna be fine tonight. Like it's gonna be great. Like it was just this shift, like immediately of it really all goes back to you. Like when if you say I can love other people without loving myself, it's actually loving Donnie so I will get love. It's actually manipulation. It's an inauthentic space of loving. That's why I play volleyball, because I got love from my dad. I got love from all my fans. I got love from this inauthentic place. It's why I used to win. It was from a space of fear. It was from a space of inauthenticity. That's why when I won 3 back-to-back national championships, it felt empty, and I didn't understand it. Like, why do these medals feel empty? Because it wasn't for me. It was to get love. Right? Shit, deep. Really deep, yes.
I just want to share with you guys something that I've learned through school, and it's your subconscious, which is 88% of your mind, does not know time, doesn't know who you're talking to, doesn't know really anything except what you think. It doesn't know negatives. So if I sit here and I say, like, you're a really like awful person and I don't like you at all, I'm saying that to myself.
Yeah.
Is that crazy or what? I was just like, so no matter what, if you think a negative feeling about somebody else, you're actually programming that into your own mind. So even like and consciously we're all connected. It's nuts. But you only hear yourself. So even if you say it out loud and I direct it at Donnie, I had to think that thought before it came out of my mouth. So it's to me. I thought it. And she can either accept it or not. She has that decision and to think it about herself. But I've already reached that
affirmation, that association, that, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, like when you judge others, you're judging yourself. Period.
Because your subconscious doesn't know that there's another person standing in front of you. Here's what you're thinking.
And typically you don't like something about the person that you don't like in yourself.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's all mirrors. It's all
So,
mirrors. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
it is. Sometimes it's hard to see.
Yes. You're like, but how? Like, yeah.
That's why I'm actually grateful for the people that cause me the greatest angst. I actually have turned people that make me so like, ugh. I started to have gratitude for them.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me my flaws. Thank you for showing me the areas that I get to get better. And thank you for showing me how I judge myself. Thank you for showing me how I walk around when I'm not in my truth. Like, thank you for being that reflection for me. Like, I'm really starting to be in a space of gratitude for everyone. Like, and it's really shifted me. Like, it used to take me maybe 24 hours, and now it takes me an hour or 20 minutes or 2 minutes, to go from angst to joy.
And you also like, have the opportunity to learn how to love that part about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Yes,
Drop the mic. We're done.
This is my first shared mic for ever, by the way.
Oh, let's give it up for Ashton!
I'm just saying that because I'm sweating. It's like a shaky. Excuse me. So I think for a lot of things, like a couple things came up for me. One was for me, it was everything I ever did in my life before Herbalife, because not to sound narcissistic, but I was number one at everything I did. Whatever it was, I was number one. And every time I'd come number one, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get this feeling when I get number one because everybody's going to appreciate me, fans, whatever it was, sports, academics, life, So I was like, oh, I'll get this Ocean View condo, and then my dad will love me a certain way. And my friends will look at me a certain way. Or I'll get this car, which is the most expensive of all my friends, and then I'll be that guy. And then, I'll make 6 figures, and then everybody will love me. Or I'll be top producer. And I never got that. People didn't change. It was just the situation changed, but everything else was the same. And then I realized it was like an internal shift. And yeah, I went to Landmark and did this and that, but for me, it was, okay, I felt good for 3 days and 2 days afterwards. But as soon as I plugged out of the conversation, I went right back to who I was. Like my dad always taught me when I was growing up, plastic has 2 properties, elastic properties and inelastic properties. There's certain things the plastic can make, like your bumper, you can hit it at 2 miles an hour, it'll go right. It'll go right back to where it was. No problem. Anymore, it'll have a ding no matter what you do, that you always see that ding. So he's like, it's like, damn, you have to see where it is, and you have to accept the inelastic things about myself, and I have to accept the elastic things about myself. And one of the things I've learned is there's certain things that happen when I was a child that's not going to change, but what I can change is how I feel about it. In this conversation, I just wanted to be really grateful for everybody. I've come for 3 weeks, and I've been quiet because it really is confronting to like admit this is what I felt, this is what it was, because I've had the near-death experience in an accident. I've had all those things. But I didn't know what to do with it because I wasn't in this conversation. I had no content to associate with what I felt, so I just wanted to thank everybody.
Well, we don't need to force any other conversation. I feel like this is really powerful and great, and it's 12:52, so I really want to thank everyone for being here. This was the perfect group. If you were here, you're here for a reason. If you're listening online, thank you for being with us today. No matter where you are, you matter, and we get to go share this message with the world. So I think the number one thing that I took away from this is to be happy no matter what, to vibrate on a high, figure out how to vibrate on a high frequency no matter what, and to share. Because if we don't share, then what are we doing? Well, we're not giving it away. We're being selfish, right? So those are the 3 things that I'm going to take on this week. I'm really excited to share from that space. Share from a space of gratitude. Share from a space of happy. Share from a space of overflow. Share from a space of high vibration. You know what I'm saying? So we all get to take that on together. If it's your first time here, we're really happy you joined us. If you're online for the first time, welcome. Get with the person that invited you. Sit down. We do tons of things here. This is a global movement of nutrition and empowerment. So we can help you get in the best shape of your life. We're getting on a nutrition program with Herbalife. We can help you get fit through our free workouts. We have this every single week. And we have a community to hold you accountable and one-on-one coaching that really hold you accountable as well. So tomorrow we have a workout at 7 p.m. There's going to be about 200 plus people in here, so it's about to be sweaty and popping. So come Saturday if you're hearing this conversation and you're like, wow, I've never met people that think like me, talk like me, and have the same conversation, and I want to be a coach. Like, I really want to pay this forward, and I want to be a part of this movement. Definitely come on Saturday. We have a coaches training from 10 to 12:30. So, love you all. Let's go change the world today. Up it up. Woo! Yes, do. Wait.